Good morning, students. Welcome to our class. I hope you all must be doing good. Students, in our previous class, we read section 2, Three Men at Picnic Point, written by Jerome K. Jerome. In our today's video, I would be summarizing all that we dealt with in our previous class. Children, let us first discuss about the author, Jerome Klapka Jerome. Jerome Klapka Jerome was born on 2nd May 1859 in Staffordshire, England. He was raised in acute poverty. He was an English novelist and playwright whose humor, warm, unsatirical, and unintellectual, won him wide following. He, at the age of 14 years, left school and started working as a railway clerk, then as a school teacher, an actor, and a journalist in order to support his poverty-stricken family. His first book, On the Stage and Off, was published in 1885, but it was with the publication of his next books, The Idle Thoughts of an Idle Fellow in 1886 and Three Men in a Boat 1889, that he achieved great success. Both books were widely translated. Three Men in a Boat is a comic travelogue, an amusing account of a boat trip with two friends down the river Thames along his dog Montmorency. In its first 20 years alone, the book sold over 1 million copies worldwide. It has been even adapted to films, TV and radio shows, stage plays, and even a musical. The lesson, Three Men at Picnic Point, is actually an extract which is taken from the same novel. It's a humorous account written by Jerome of a 2-week boating holiday on the River Thames. It is based on Jerome himself and his two friends, George and Harris, with whom Jerome often took boating trips along with his dog Montmorency. The story begins when the three men decided to take up a boating trip up the River Thames in order to relax themselves from the overwork. They are in badly need of a holiday. This lesson shares with us the difficulties and experiences which the author and his friends faced on reaching the island Magna Carta. Jerome and his friends decided to visit the Magna Carta island, which winds through a soft green valley and is the best picturesque inlet for one to camp in around that tiny shore. But according to the author, when they reached the island after a tiresome journey, they did not feel a longing for the picturesque atmosphere, as they were badly exhausted and famished. All they wanted was to have supper and go to bed. But George, the friend of the author, wishes to put a tent before dark so that it is bright enough to see what they are doing. After which they would sit comfortably with an easy mind and have supper. Children, we read how Jerome and his friends earlier thought that putting up of a canvas was a simple task, which was in reality an underestimate. The putting up of a tent was the most tedious job one can ever think of. The three friends faced lots of difficulties while placing hoops into the sockets, as the hoops were particularly ill-fitted ones. They struggled hard for quite a long time. The three friends had to practically wrestle with the side hoops to get them fitted on the boat. Finally, after a long time, they managed to fix the arcs into the hoops. But now the task at hand was to cover the boat with the canvas. George unrolled the canvas and fastened one end over the nose of the boat, while Harris stood in the center waiting for his chance to take it from George and pass it to the author Jerome. And Jerome patiently waited by the stern for his chance to come. Children, George did his part fairly well, but when the canvas came to Harris, he bungled it. He got wrapped round and tucked in and folded over and could not come out of it, though he struggled hard and instead of coming out of it, knocked over George, and he too got entangled and rolled up. Jerome and his dog stood there and kept watching the entire spectacle as the canvas violently jerked and tossed about pretty considerably. Finally, Harris and George cried out for help. Then the three of them, after half an hour's hard work, were successful in putting up the canvas, after which they decided to have supper. They had also put the kettle on the stove to boil and pretended as if they didn't keep anything for boiling and set out to work and getting other things out, as that is the only way or the trick to make tea in a river. The more you ignore the things will happen soon. Children, their trick did work out. Until the time they were all set to have supper, the tea was also ready. For 35 minutes till the time they had supper, not a single word was either spoken by any of them or was heard. Only the sound of the cutlery and crockery and the grinding of molars, that is, the chewing sound, could only be heard. After they are full, all the three friends, Jerome, Harris, and George, threw their plates on the bank of the river and showed signs of contentment and spread their legs out. The author in the end states that one feels so good when one's hunger is satisfied. It feels like being contented with ourselves and with the world. One can, after a hearty meal, is able to think clearly and do business well. He also stated that one feels forgiving and generous, noble-minded and kind-hearted after a substantial meal. Jerome commented that we humans are the sorriest slaves of our stomach, and our digestive organs controls our intellect. He even gave few examples of the effect different meals have on our body. That is, a heavy diet makes a person slumber to sleep, whereas light food helps one to work. Tea, on the other hand, has magical effects as it shrugs away laziness and gives one the strength to work. Hot muffins makes the mind dull and soulless. Jerome in the end pondered that how on an empty stomach before supper all three of them were snappy and quarrelsome and even ill-tempered. But a substantial meal induced happiness in them, and they sat beaming with one another in the end. They were also forgiving towards each other and expressed their concern as well. According to the author Jerome, it was pity enough to see their reconciliation. Alright, children, here we have discussed the entire section at large. I would be sharing the written work for the same in your class groups. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Take care.